Hello, my name's Sophia Hotong. I'm a writer and illustrator. I wrote this book called The Unlikely Hong Konger. I do this intro every time. I feel like it's getting really old. I'm just speeding through it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, read the description below. Let's start with reading a chapter called An Accessible Medium. Okay. At some point in 2020, I started wetting the bed. Mortifying! I was 25 and peeing the sheets. Jojo went to Eon to get me a plastic mattress pee-pee shield for my slumbersome cumbersome tinkles. When I wasn't weeing myself, I was losing control of other muscles. Standing, focusing on a page or screen, using a fork, texting, sitting upright for too long, it seemed as though my muscles had a quota, a countdown clock, and after a few minutes or so, they would give out. Eventually, we would come to find that these were all symptoms of ocular myasthenia gravis. However, I was already so jacked up on steroids and immunosuppressants that adding anything else to my drug cocktail was ill-advised. Options for more experimental treatments were discussed, but COVID-19 had limited non-essential treatments available across government hospitals, so we had to hold off. In the short term, I just had to keep doing what I was doing. Resting, pacing, and staying positive. When you operate on a limited energy quota, you have to be choosy about what gets done in a day. Is the quota going to be used for preparing a meal, stretching, or washing hair? You can't do all three. You are operating with very little to start with. That means anything fun or frivolous is off the table. Little hobbies and arts and crafts, no chance. Your quota needs to go to something useful, productive, and worthwhile. When the iPad came along, things changed. The barriers to entry for my other hobbies had been so high that I had abandoned most of them. Cross-stitch was pernickety, guitar was too strenuous, painting too messy. At any moment, my muscles could go. Then what? I'd be left with needles and threads everywhere. I'd drop my guitar. I'd ruin palettes by letting paints dry out. But with the iPad, the minute I started to feel my quota dwindle, I could slide the device into the space between my mattress and bed frame and sleep. When I awoke, everything was right as I had left it. No tools out of order, no equipment damaged, no paints crusted. The iPad was accessible. It came with me to hospital wards and waiting rooms. It streamlined brushstrokes from my shaky hands. It offered a forgiving undo button. With it, I felt a wave of competence and control for the first time in a long time. I feel like I don't know, I don't want to make these videos like the chapter and a commentary, but this is a question I get a lot. I get asked a lot, when are you going to start doing real art? And I have to tell people that, like, no, I'm disabled. Like, the only thing I can really manage if I'm going to be able to brush my teeth, wash my hair, and cook for myself as well as work is iPad art. And so if you know someone who feels like the barriers to entry for hobbies and things is too high for them because of a disability or a limitation, send them this video. Totally out of context, they'll be so confused. No, but this idea that it's not cheating, it's not lazy to use technology is an idea very close to my heart, because it's true. There's so much shame around iPad art, but actually it's what works for me. And I would hazard to say it's slightly ableist to say it doesn't count. Anyways, goodbye. I will see you for the next chapter called A Cavalcade of Failed Projects. Spoiler, this is one of the failed projects, this whole artwork situation, but you'll find out more in the next video. See you next time.